Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Lauren in case you're new here, and today is going to be a video where I reflect upon my perspective on fireworks and what they represent, what they show us about where we're at in our relationship to the earth and our understanding of ourselves as one with the earth. And I'm also going to be speaking a little bit about a movie that I watched this past weekend called Hamnet, a beautiful film that I think has some really potent reflections existing within it, and is the kind of content that I think we need at this time here on this earth. And so I'm going to be sharing my perspective on all of this, and these things might sound random or like unrelated, but they all relate back to the idea of being in touch with our own humanity and the choice to consciously interact with the earth and with our own life, with our own aliveness, seeing ourselves as sentient, as nature, as being in connection with the environment around us in which we live in, and choosing to honor that rather than reject it and disconnect from it. And so I don't share anything that I share from some holier than thou position. I don't think I'm perfect. I'm far from it. I just am actively trying in my own life, in my own existence, to show up and do better on a daily basis and live in honor of my humanity and my relationship to this great Mother Earth. And something like fireworks and the air show that we had here on the 4th of July in the United States was just so deeply disturbing and ultimately disappointing to me, to just see the way that we are so willing to continue to pour our energy and our money and our support into things that are so blatantly harmful for our earth, for our environment, for ourselves, just down to the way that something like fireworks and these air shows, the way that they impact our environment, their ultimately detrimental nature, the way that they pollute our air, the way that they harm our wildlife. Those are things that we should care about. Those are things that should be put before the desire to see something beautiful or be in awe for a moment. That temporary dopamine rush, that instant gratification that comes from experiencing something. The desire to take care of the earth and tend to our environment, tend to our own health, should come before our desire to be superficially satisfied. And I just feel that fireworks and this air show is a perfect example of the way that we choose a momentary satisfaction over a long-term well-being, and that trickles out into so many of our actions, so many of our choices as human beings. And I truly believe that those choices come from a deep sense of resistance to the truth that we are one with the earth. There is no way around that. There is no escape from our innate connection to the earth and to her well-being. Our well-being, Earth's well-being, they are one. They are married, and they always will be. And so it's just wild to me that for as intelligent as we are and how many advancements we've made, we still lack that true understanding, that true reverence, and our disconnection from ourselves as earthly beings, as temporary blood and bones, is just wild. It's just insane, honestly. Like the fact that these fireworks and this $1 billion something air show was going on in the midst of heat waves where climate change is making itself more and more apparent by the day. Our disregard for that, our choice to just continue to choose harm, is just sad, and it's devastating, and we just continue to harm ourselves. And my deeper purpose in this sharing is the reminder that you are one with the earth. I am one with the earth. We are one. It's not some hippy dippy wild concept. It's just plain facts and reality, and it's an uncomfortable reality to come to terms with, that you are susceptible to environmental change and to impact in your own life. And I think that unfortunately it seems to take that personal impact for people to actually open their eyes to that truth and to care. And the invitation in this video is to really open your eyes to that truth and to care now, to care here, and to perhaps shift your perspective on yourself and your life into a deeper place, a place where you really truly recognize and even possibly surrender to the fact that you are blood and you are bones in this body here and now, and you were born here and you will die here, and you will return to where you came. You will return to the earth. So why not return to her in reverence? Why not return to her in a harmonious relationship where you can know and feel deeply that you did your best? It's not about being perfect. It's not about being the most sustainably aware, perfect, conscious human being in the world. We're humans. We make mistakes. We are far from perfect, but we can try. We can make attempts, and I think fireworks are a very simple thing that we could choose to not do in honor of the greater health, the greater well-being, not only of our environment, our wildlife, but of ourselves, is simple, especially in the act of something like not lighting off fireworks, not spending your money on that, not supporting that, taking a moment to think critically about that choice to support that when the facts are very clear that this is a problem. I think just the act of reflecting for a moment and choosing not to do something can be really simple but really powerful. Just opening your eyes up to the truth and perhaps being a little less selfish. I think we all could learn a little bit from that kind of behavior, choosing to think critically and choosing to honor a greater reality other than your momentary desire. That is simple yet profound work, and it's work that we can all be doing in our lives on a daily basis. I know that a lot of us here in the United States specifically did not grow up being taught about our intrinsic connection and relationship to the earth. We were not taught how to live in honor of that. In fact, we were taught how to live in disconnection from it. But as adults, as conscious, intelligent beings, we can choose to shift the way that we relate on an individual level, thus impacting our collective impact on the earth in a positive way. And so just taking that moment and deepening into the truth that when you hurt the earth, you hurt yourself. That is just the reality of things, because she is our home. So let's do our best to take care of our home and love on her and pour into her and refrain from doing things that are momentarily fun but long-term terrible. And I brought up the movie Hamnet because Hamnet was, first and foremost, just such a raw, deep, human feeling movie, and that's why I feel like we just need more of that kind of content, that real content. I just felt so amazed by the way that this movie was done and the way that it evoked such deep emotions from me. I don't think I've ever cried so much during a movie as watching this one, and I really loved the main character, the woman. Her name is Agnes, which I love that name because it's my great-grandmother's name. But I loved her character because she reflected depth and that kind of really respectful and loving relationship with the earth, with her own belonging to the earth. She showed that in every breath that she took and in all of her intentions and her actions, and it was a beautiful reminder. It was that reminder that we can choose to live intentionally, we can choose to recognize our innate connection and belonging to the earth, and we can be in right relationship with the earth. And literally the earth is just patiently waiting for us to open our eyes, shift our consciousness, ground into our heart space, and return to her, ultimately returning to ourselves, our deeper truth, our nature. We can do so in big and small ways, and I think that choosing not to light off fireworks is a very, very small way. And so perhaps I leave you with the contemplation of what you can do in your own life to interact more lovingly, more sanely with the earth, and really integrate that understanding, that consciousness shift, that how you treat her matters, and that treating her well is treating yourself well, and that we should care about that. Like I said, I am not speaking from some perfect position. It's just a position of trying my best. I think that we can all try our best. I think that we can all take little baby steps to being in deeper, more right relationship with our great mother, honoring her and thanking her through our actions, thanking her for holding us, for allowing us to be here, for allowing us to experience and witness the beauty that just naturally exists here, the beauty of life, the beauty of ourselves. So I pray that this video can just serve as that invitation to engage with the depth of life, to just go down a little bit deeper into the heart and return to your nature, return to your heart, return to the earth. Going back to the movie Hamnet for a moment, I highly encourage that watch. It is an emotional watch, so ensure that you are in the right state, the right mental state to receive that kind of content. I am still integrating my reaction to watching that film, and I watched it like 5 days ago. So yeah, it's a deep one, but it's a beautiful one, and it's the good kind of content that we need right now. So yeah, if you feel called to check it out, I think you should. And I thank you so much for being here, for listening to my thoughts and my reflections, and I hope that it supported you along your journey in some way. And I wish you a most beautiful day. I will see you next Sunday.